It's easy to find the sweet spot when formulating with sucrose. Its flavor and function are so well known to us. Its sweetness most of us grew up with. But, like many of the things we enjoyed in our youth, there are times to set it aside. Demands to reduce added sugar and lighten calorie loads are at an all-time high. Approximately 13% of adults' total caloric intake comes from added sugars, the Center of Disease Control reports in their most recent study, Consumption of Added Sugars Among U.S. Adults 2005 to 2010. Recent analysis indicate that children and adolescents obtain approximately 16% of their total caloric intake from added sugars, adds the report. The recommendations set forth in the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2010 state that discretionary calories, including both added sugars and solid fats, should be limited to 5% to 15% per day. Increased consumption of added sugars has been linked to a decrease in the intake of essential micronutrients, increase in body weight, and higher risk for diabetes and cardiovascular disease. CDC defines added sugars as sweeteners added to processed and prepared foods. Though AIM is clearly directed at industry to reduce added sugar, it's not a simple proposition. Consumers aren't necessarily willing to forgo a sweet taste, so food developers are challenged to deliver flavor, reduce calories, and provide comparable sensory attributes. Knowing precisely what the consumer wants to eat is a bit like timing the stock market. Both are fickle. Yet when it comes to food choices, the trends towards health and wellness continues to evolve. Organizations like Center for Science in the Public Interest are intent on transforming the American diet. They've launched a petition to ensure the safe use of added sugars. They include added sweeteners such as fruit juice, evaporated cane sugar, honey, and agave syrup as sweeteners that contribute to harm. Americans are taking note that moderation is in order. A recent survey from the Mintel Research Consultancy suggests that consumers are paying a lot more attention to how much sugar is in their foods. Interest in natural and clean label products is top of mind. Shoppers are scrutinizing labels for ingredients with names that they understand. Innova Market Insights says the top trend of 2013 is the aware shopper, who is more informed and knowledgeable about value and health. With this, there is a call for transparency and credibility, as evidenced by increased litigation surrounding natural claims and genetically modified organisms, GMO. Yet it all comes back to sweeteners, at least in terms of Innova Market Insights' top 10 list of 2013 trends. Beating the sugar demon is number 7. Meeting consumers' desire for natural, reduced sugar foods is the developer's task. Eliminating artificial chemicals like aspartame, acesulfame-K, sucralose, saccharin, and neotame narrow the choice of sweeteners. Honey, molasses, agave nectar, and fruit juices fall into the natural sweetener category, but they are of little help in reducing calories. Like sugar, these are nutritive sweeteners. Fructose, the form of sugar found in fruit juice, agave, and honey, is also nutritive, but it has the advantage of being sweeter than sugar. Of all the nutritive sweeteners, it is the sweetest with 1.2 to 1.8 times the sweetness. The anomeric state of fructose and the extent of mutoritation when the comparison is made will impact relative sweetness. Polyols, or sugar alcohols, are low digestible carbohydrates. Many occur naturally in foods. Erythritol is present in fruits such as pears, melons, and grapes. Xylitol is found in birch. Sorbitol was first discovered in berries. The structure of polyols is similar to sugar molecules, with the exception of the presence of a hydroxyl group substituted for the aldehyde or ketone group. These compounds are linear in structure, so they are less reactive. As a group, they can be used to provide sweetness and calorie reduction. Great differences exist between individual polyols, in part because of the variances in molecular weight. None of the polyols participate in the Maillard reaction, so applications that require caramelization or non-enzymatic browning may require additional reducing sugars. Although polyols can be used singly, they are often used in conjunction with other sweeteners. Formulators seeking a natural, high-intensity sweetener begin with a simple decision, and that is, should we consider stevia? Stevia extracts are derived from the leaves of the South American plant Stevia rebaudiana. This high-intensity sweetener is 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar. Flavor of stevia products varies immensely because of the variations of concentrations and purity of these glycosides. Soils and growing conditions influence the confluence of components. Finally, the means of extraction, natural water extraction or petrochemical extraction, impact the final taste. Even the cleanest extracts of stevia can have a licorice-like flavor. It can be perceived as slightly bitter, yet because it is so powerfully sweet, it is used at extremely low levels. A bulking agent such as erythritol is required to build body and mouthfeel, but it will also help ameliorate any off note. Masking agents can also be helpful, especially in formulas that contain other bitter components. Although there are many sweeteners to choose from, none taste or behave exactly like sugar. Replacing sugar with a single ingredient is unlikely to yield the anticipated result. Sugar-free and no sugar-added foods won't have the same flavor as their full sugar counterparts. The goal is more achievable when reducing sugar. Blending sweeteners even further increases the potential for success. Developing new products is an easier task, although it still may take a few rounds at the bench to optimize flavor and function. Combining sweeteners can improve the temporal profile. Adding sugar to a formula in which up to 80% of the sweetness is provided by Reb A will exhibit a flavor similar to a 100% sugar-sweetened product. Calories are reduced substantially. Every application has its own requirements, so understanding the nuances of sweeteners alone or in tandem must be undertaken in the context of the finished product. Working with a knowledgeable supplier like Stevia Ingredients will maximize efficiency in the number of passes at the bench and in the pilot plant, but also in terms of cost savings. Capitalizing on synergies between sweeteners and other ingredients can reduce the use of higher cost ingredients such as flavors. Stevia Ingredients can help. Partnering with the sweetener experts at Stevia Ingredients will bring their intuitive knowledge to your development efforts and will help take the mystery out of reduced calorie formulations. For nearly 15 years, Stevia Ingredients has collaborated with food manufacturers to create a custom sweetening solution tailored to each client's need. We want to work with you. When you choose Stevia Ingredients as your supply chain partner for custom sweetening solutions, you can be assured of the highest quality and reliability. We have an extensive system in place for ensuring the highest possible standards for quality control and food safety. Stevia Ingredients keeps a keen focus on stringent ingredient oversight, adherence to good manufacturing practices, a commitment to strict microbiological standards, along with a continual testing for heavy metal pesticide and petrochemicals. Our proprietary contracts with suppliers provide consistent, dependable ingredient sourcing, making Stevia Ingredients your reliable supply chain partner. Stevia Ingredients' entire line of products are 100% natural, low in calories and low in carbs, so your finished goods can capture health-conscious consumers. Stevia Ingredients' entire line of products are certified kosher, allergen-free, non-GMO, gluten-free, and enjoy U.S. FDA GRAS status. For spec sheets, documentation, and samples of Stevia Ingredients' entire line of good-for-you sweeteners, call your Stevia Ingredients sales representative at 310-455-9876 or email info@staviva.com. Staviva Ingredients, where sweeteners come naturally.